Namaste. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Magick Croix coming back at you with another Magick Croix and the Magic Elite Supply Shop production. I'd like to greet you today on this day of Soul, S-O-L, Sunday, January 3rd, 2016. And in order to align yourselves with the energies of the sun, and I believe I said this last week, you wear burnt orange, yellow, or gold, like I'm wearing today. The sun is the most important cosmic body in the universe. So to align yourselves properly, you can burn those color candles as well. Got a lot of things that I want to talk about today, but I'm going to try and make it as short as possible. And before I even get started, I don't want anybody to feel that this is directed to them personally. This is a general topic here, okay? Like I said, this is not a personal attack on nobody. I just want to clear the air, and I think someone needs to say this. So here I go. It's been a long, hard road on the occult for me and for a lot of others that I know. And so there are a lot of obstacles to overcome when you travel this road. Like I said, I am self-taught for the most part. So I've not had any formal teaching. I've not had any initiations or anything like that. But I do know a lot about a lot of magical systems. And for me, that took a lot to travel that road, and a lot was trial and error. So I can speak with confidence and surety about certain things and certain magical systems. So I think it is a disservice to any occultist worth their weight in gold. It's a disservice to try and get free stuff. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is free advice. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? You know, and things. Everybody thinks that, you know, any other service that you are looking to obtain or get services for, they're not free. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to a doctor and say, hey, if you give me some advice on this, I'll pay you back later. You can't do that. You can't go to a lawyer and say, hey, I like a consultation, but I like to not pay for it. See where I'm going with this? These are highly trained specialists. And so people out here will pay money for mundane things like $200 sneakers, and I'm talking about Jordans, things that will depreciate with time. Expensive pocketbooks and expensive cars. But when it comes to spiritual work, nobody seems to see the value in that. I mean, spiritual work is a service. And for the most part, most occultists that I know, we all have businesses. We're in the business after a whole lot of training. Not any occultist that I know worth their weight in gold has actually read a book or two and then start charging people for stuff. That didn't happen that way. The ones that I know have taken years of training to get to where they are, to get the results that they want. So, and like I said before, it's a disservice to us for people to not see value in spiritual work. You know, I hate to say this, but Caucasians, they see the value in spiritual work and will pay for it. I'm going to leave that one right there. They will pay for spiritual work. Other people, not so much. Here and there, but still. You know, like I said, people do not understand that these are businesses. These are services. It's like the electric is a service. Water is a service. Even though it's a natural resource, it should be free. But that's not my point. My point is that it's a service. Doctors, lawyers, and don't dare try and go to a scientist or a heart surgeon. Also, people don't see the backstory of what occultists go through. Spiritual attacks. I had a deity, or not deity, an entity attack me years ago because I had a client I was trying to take that entity off of. Those are the kind of risk that we take when we take on clients. Even doing a simple tarot reading, you're taking on the client's energy. That is physically draining. And don't get me started about an entity attack, a psychic attack, a magical attack, period. Because when they see that you're trying to work to get them off, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go to that source. Of course, I fought it off and banished it completely, but I knew what I was doing. But I was physically drained afterwards. So the results were purely physical. These are the things that we go through. And when we got multiple clients, that's multiple energy sources feeding off of us. But yet and still, this is what we go through. Now, I'm talking about independent, for lack of a better term, an independent contractor such as myself. But if you would try to go to a Polero or a Tata, do you know how much they would charge you? I don't even charge half of what they would charge you. It ranges in the thousands of dollars. The reason is because their initiations cost thousands of dollars. They're going to get you results. I'm going to get you results, but I don't charge as much. But these Poleros, they have these pots that they use. I ain't going to go into all that. That's initiated folks. Poleros, Mambos, Hoogans, Tatas, they're going to charge you a pretty penny. And people will pay because they know they will get their results. My point in saying that is an independent contractor such as myself who is not initiated formally, I've had to go through years of training and self-study, trial and error to get where I am at tonight. So, we actually live a magical life daily. We have multiple altars in our houses, in our living spaces, in our bedrooms. If you could understand what that means to live that life daily, you will understand that that is a spiritual risk constantly. You run the risk of psychic, magical attack, and tears in your aura. You run the risk of a lot of stuff. Not to say that we're not protected. It's just that the risk is great. And when when your spirituality is attacked, best believe it's going to affect your physical life. This is not a joke. It's not a game. You know, like I said, the spiritual attacks is nothing compared to a physical attack. I'm not even going to go into all of that, but I mean, there was one time when I first started getting clients, and I was trying to get my name out there, and a brother wanted to pay me like $75 for the stuff that he wanted. So I did the work that he asked. We got the results that he asked. Now I'm seeing him on Facebook flashing his jewelry and his nice cars and his nice shoes. I charged him $75 where I should have charged upwards of $300. This was me being nice. And I remember the brother always asking for a discount. I'm like, discount? Yeah, that's a discount. There is a value to doing spiritual work. That energy, if you have to have a certain energy come off of you, and you get an occultist help, that energy has to go somewhere. Unless it's like immediately banished, then it has to go somewhere. We run the risk of that. It is very draining. So, I mean, like I said, spiritual work is valuable work. And we as a people, and I'm talking about as melanated people, we don't see the value in it. We see the value in material things. But why not spend money? If you're going to spend money, why not spend money where you need it? Spirituality does not depreciate. If anything, it appreciates. I mean, it gains value. You'll start to learn how to do stuff yourself. I am not exaggerating, I have literally spent thousands of dollars on books, on spiritual tools, on mantras. Yes, I bought mantras. You can download them now online, but I bought them. You know, my altar setups, candles, everything. I mean, it's just, I wish we as a people would see that our ancestors also saw the value of spirituality. That's why they spent so much time studying it. Remember one time I said that in order to graduate the mystery schools of Kemet, you had to spend at least 40 years there. 40 years. Dora Pauls. I said 40 years. Thousands of dollars on spiritual work. None of my books that I have purchased have cost less than $80. Here's one such book. See that? If you would find this, good luck to you. And if you can find it, let me know where you found this at. And it costs $200. This book, this thin book, but it's worth it. Speaking of books, one of the books that I first started out with, and it's not really, I wouldn't consider it an occult book, but it's a book of knowledge, and explains your 7 bodies, from the physical to the etheric to the astral to the mental, all the way up to the spiritual. That's the 7th body, and explains how each body is a different frequency. The higher you go, the higher the frequency. This book is very valuable, and I advise heavily to get this book. It's called The Finding of the Third Eye. The author is Vera Stanley Alder. A-L-D-E-R. The Finding of the Third Eye. I believe now you can find this book in PDF form. One of my very first books I loved. When I first picked that up, I could not put it down. Literally. It gave me an understanding of auras and astral bodies and just things of a spiritual nature. Like I said, I wouldn't consider it an occult book, but I consider it a very helpful book for understanding. What you've been seeing in the news, constant distractions. The only way you're going to get out of that, you may need to stay off Facebook. I know that's kind of hard for people, but there's a lot of things that's coming, natural disasters, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. This is just what's coming. I mean, the person, I'm not going to mention their names, the persons who was accused of drugging and raping all those women, that's a distraction. They distract you constantly by giving you one thing while another thing is going into effect. It's misdirection. By the way, all these women were drugged 20 years ago, yet and still they remember everything. My second Dora pause. That's the first time I did two in one video. You're going to have people constantly, you're going to have, not people, but those, the powers that be, constantly trying to distract you from your spiritual ascension. Let me put it that way. You gotta ascend, and you gotta not be bothered by that nonsense. There's a reason I don't say much on Facebook, but it's just so many distractions. It's a mess. But you raise your vibrations and meditate and read. If you do all that, you ain't gotta worry about the distractions. Just look at it this way. 2016 is a 9 year. 9 has very a well-known significance in the occult community. 9 is the number of completion. How did I get the number 9? You add 2 plus 0 plus 1 is 3 plus 6 is equals a 9. That's where I get that from. Just pay attention to what's going on around you. Your spirituality is very important. You should put value into it. And those of us who live a magical life and take a risk, why shouldn't we be compensated? Other people get compensated for their services. Why not? Why do people feel like we should give away this information for free? We've been training for years. Does it make any kind of logical sense? It does not. We sell our services. Websites are not free. And a lot of us have websites. They have to be hosted every month. We still, when you go to an occultist, they still have to buy supplies. Oils, candles, parchment paper, magical inks. I think, like I said, I think is very insulting and very it does us no, it belittles what we do, and that can't be more insulting. You want to come to, you want results, and you want good results, but you don't pay. Now, I'm not saying this to advertise my business in particular. I'm talking about in general. Some people come and ask me a question and be like, and I'm like, okay, let me set up a consultation. My consultations don't cost that much. It's about the price of a dinner. But the reason that I want to give a consultation is not just for business. I want to get a feel for who you are. I want to get a feel for what your problem is. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. That's not the way I work. I'm going to get to the root of the problem. And then one time I had a consultation, I found out this woman had 5 different problems. So I had to address 5 different issues. That took a whole lot of work. And she did, compensate. So, think about this when you go to an occultist trying to get a discount. You don't go to a Walmart or a Target or trying to get discounts all the time. You pay full price. You'll pay full price for something that's going to automatically depreciate. But spiritual work, people don't see the value in that. We need to stop that. Our spiritual technology is our technology. You leave the military weaponry technology to them. That's not our technology, melanated people. Our technology is in our spirituality. If it wasn't, then all the temples, all the Sphinx, the pyramids, all that wouldn't have been raided and looted. And our practices outlawed. You separate a people from their spirituality, and what do you have? The broken down people that you see today. Our spiritual technology is our shit. It really is. Now you think about this. Like I said, I'm never going to say names on these videos. You think about this, somebody who didn't get justice in Texas, and then I think the day of or the day after, a whole bunch of tornadoes tore Texas up and killed people. You think that was an accident? You think that was a coincidence? It's never a coincidence. Me and another cultist talked about that. And we was like, hey, Oya came through and tore shit up. So, in closing, like I said, I hope I didn't offend anybody. It's not my intention to ever offend anybody. I just want to put that out there for me and a few others that, spirituality is valuable. And you should treat it as such. And you should treat it as you going to an electrician or a plumber or a doctor or a lawyer or a carpenter, and I can keep going on and on and on and on. Hopefully, like I said, this clears a few things up. You can always find me on Facebook, Magick Croix, or you can visit my shop, www.themagicalelitesupplyshop.com. I have consultations on there as well. And before I go, if you want to clear negative air in your house, it's a very simple technique. This is the symbol of the Baphomet. Right? You take the Baphomet twice, put it together like this. And you go around your house like this. Clears out negativity and protects you. This has been a Magick Croix public service announcement. I hope you all have a good week. I hope you all been safe during the New Year's with all these crazy ass people out here. And I will see you next time. Peace.